welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a really nice recipe we know you're going to love. This is a yogurt saffron chicken. The yogurt and saffron is used in a marinade on the chicken, and this is then grilled. Beautiful, beautiful recipe, very, very easy to make, and really delicious. Lots of flavor in this one, and we're going to start off with some ingredients. So obviously we've got some yogurt. We've got, we're going to be using a little bit of water to bloom our saffron. We have lemon juice, an onion. This is our saffron here. We have some fresh marjoram, some garlic as well. Some fresh marjoram from our garden. And we're using boneless, skinless chicken thighs for this recipe. So we're using dark meat. So the first thing we're going to do, we microwave this water just briefly until it was very warm, and we're going to sprinkle in a few of these beautiful saffron strands. Now, you can use as much as you like here. More is going to give your chicken sort of a floral aroma. Too much will make it medicinal, so don't go too heavy on the saffron. Now, this is fresh marjoram from our garden. If you don't have access to this, you can certainly use dried. It's also possible to replace something like cilantro or oregano or thyme for this. We just had the marjoram on hand, and it is a great flavor in this recipe. So we want to chop up the marjoram or whatever herb you're going to be using pretty finely. If you're using dried, just give it a good grind between your palms before you toss it in. And that will help sort of just release. You just want to bruise it and release some of the volatile oils and some of that nice aroma from the herb. So once it's nicely chopped up very finely like this, we are going to add it to our bowl that the rest of the marinade is going to be made in. So this is just going to be our base. So there's our fresh marjoram. Now, you've seen us do this before for dressings and that sort of thing, so we're going to grate the onion. And again, we're just using the large holes on a regular cheese, box cheese grater. And once you get down to this point, that's all you really need to do. And then you're just going to scrape all of the onion off of the grater into your bowl. And then we're going to do the same with the garlic. For the garlic, we're going to use the small holes on the cheese grater. And that takes a little bit less time. Very, very easy. And again, you just want to give that a little wipe and get all of that into the bowl. Now, be cautious with this. The onion prepared this way does tend to release a lot more of the gas from the onion that makes your eyes water. So you may notice this does make you tear up a little bit more. So here we go with our lemon juice. We're actually going to juice a whole lemon in here. And that's both halves there. And then we're just going to make sure that we get as much of that juice through there as possible. Now, we are straining this, although because this is a marinade, it honestly doesn't make as much of a difference if we get some of the lemon material into our marinade. You don't want to get a whole lot of seeds, because if they stick to your chicken and get roasted and you eat the seeds, it's not particularly pleasant, but one or two seeds, not going to be the end of the world. So we're going to add our yogurt on top of that. Make sure you have a good scraper. You want to make sure you get all of that out of your container. Of course, all of the amounts are going to be in the ingredients in the description below. And here's our saffron. You can see it has colored the water quite yellow. And we're just going to toss that in with the strands and that beautiful, incredibly aromatic water. And we're just going to blend that together. You can use whatever you like for this. We're just going to use the same scraper we used to get our yogurt out of the container until it's all well combined like this. And from here it's ready. You can just add your chicken. And we've probably made about twice as much marinade as we needed for the amount of chicken we had. So do be aware the recipe that we're giving you in the instructions here is probably a little bit more than you'd need for the amount of chicken we're showing you here. You can see here the chicken does have a lot of room in there. And you just want to make sure that everything's well coated, and then you can leave that. You can leave it at room temperature to marinate for a little while, or if you want to do it overnight, you'd want to put that in the fridge. And then once it's finished marinating, it looks a little bit more like this. And then this is going to go on our grill. Now you can see what we've done here is we've made a ring of hot coals around the outside. Ideally for this kind of recipe you want an indirect heat. So we made a very, very hot fire in the middle of our barbecue, and then when it was really, really hot, we spread it out just around to the edge, and that gives the chicken sort of an indirect heat to cook over. Now we're not going to scrape the chicken off or anything before we add it to the heat here. We're just going to put it onto the grill and let it cook in the marinade. You can also at this point add a little bit of salt and pepper to the outside of your chicken before you put it on the grill. And that's going to get covered for a little while. This is about halfway through. If you don't drop your barbecue lid on your foot, this is about halfway through, and you can see one side is good, and it's got those nice sear marks, the grill lines on there. If you have a little piece like this is a great little taste tester. You can toss that on and pull that off halfway through, and that'll be cooked through because it's so small. All the rest of these are about the same size, so they're all going to take about the same amount of time to cook. So we're going to flip them over because we want some good grill marks and some of that nice brown sear on the other side as well. And here it is finished. So we're just going to double check. You want to do a little press test to make sure that it seems cooked all the way through. Get some nice color on both sides. And these are ready to go. Very, very quick to cook. It's about 15 to 25 minutes. And you can also roast this in the oven. You just sear it in olive oil and then place it in a preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and it comes out very similar. It's a really delicious dish. The yogurt and the onion together add this really beautiful flavor. The saffron is very aromatic. It makes your chicken really nice and tender and juicy as well. Keeps it nice and moist. So if you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes that you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.